Here we are, 4 days into Lent. I reflect on my Lenten practices, whatever sets these 40 days apart from others, and what do I find? Same old, same old. A feeling of lethargy, a mechanical observance, a need for something more meaningful, more than just muddling through. So, how to refresh my Lenten practice in a drab time of year, raw with global suffering and conflict? How better to use this time of preparation for the glory of Easter? In a Lent that has already felt 2 years long due to COVID-19, what can cleanse and nourish my soul? What do other believers do? How may I wait with meaning? In 1979, an ordained Jesuit priest decided that for Lent he would walk El Camino Real, the 600-mile pilgrimage route connecting the missions between San Diego and Sonoma, California. He carried only the blessings of his superiors and 20 cents for emergency calls. That was 1979. He planned to appeal to strangers for food and shelter on the way, along with the occasional hospitality of rectories. In short, he begged. He set out on Ash Wednesday and did indeed arrive by Good Friday, sore, but leaner and wiser and more trusting of God's providence. Along his journey, he had enjoyed the kindness of strangers and endured the rebuffs of those who dared not help him. Perhaps the trash bag he wore in the rain made them weary. He had prayed mile after weary mile. Almsgiving, yes, he gave away money that had come his way, except for those 20 cents. Prayer, it set the rhythm for his walking. Fasting, usually unintentional, on the loneliest stretches where he found no hospitality. He did them all. Almsgiving, prayer, and fasting. He accomplished something meaningful for Lent. Each Lent, I read Christ Walk, his memoir describing this pilgrimage. I like to remind myself how deep faith can look, how a productive Lent can look. At the same time, a 600-mile pilgrimage isn't feasible for me. During the pandemic, just leaving the house, just worshiping together have been daring enough acts of faith. Fast forward to another Lent, this one, 2022. Yesterday, a friend told me that for a Lenten practice, she will attempt contemplative knitting with an eye toward producing a baby blanket. In contrast to the Jesuit trekker, my friend hasn't walked for a year, nor will she for many more months, a pilgrimage of a very different sort. Instead, her hands and prayers will coax yarn to travel up and down her knitting needles while she sits still. Neither of these Lenten practices, 600-mile walks or knitting on the couch, seem right for me. How shall I enrich my soul? What is my metaphor, my practice for Lenten waiting? My research tells me that the word Lent comes from a Dutch word, lengten, meaning spring season. Being a plant person, I understand the time of preparation for a garden. What can this teach me about a time of preparation for the spirit? First, I wait. I wait for the sun to warm the frigid air, for the snows to melt, for the topsoil to thaw. Mud doesn't seem like much yet. It teems with possibility, like my soul. I wait some more. Then one day, I see the tiniest speck of green poke through the dirt. New life. Dead leaves and broken stalks resurrect into crocuses and snowdrops. A thrilling foretaste of another resurrection. So, from my Lenten practice, I prayerfully walk my neighborhood, rejoicing in the promise of mud. Like my very own soul, it can bring forth much when tended with care. Step by step, or stitch by stitch, or leaf by leaf, our prayerful Lenten patience draws us toward the glory that is Easter. Amen.